Whenever we talk about AI, it's usually about jobs, the economy, all that stuff. But today, we're going to go a lot deeper. We're asking a way bigger question that AI is forcing all of us to face. When machines can think, what does it even mean to be human anymore?
For, well, basically all of history, our value has been tied to what we can do, right? Our skills, our intelligence. But what happens when that's no longer our unique superpower? And this isn't some sci-fi movie plot for the future. This is happening right now. And it's forcing us to find an answer to this really fundamental question.
The historian Yuval Noah Harari, he just puts it out there so bluntly. He talks about the rise of a useless class. Now that sounds harsh, but he's not saying people are worthless. He means people whose skills are just no longer needed by the economy. It's a really stark way of framing it, and it shows you exactly why finding a new source of purpose is so urgent.
So, let's dive into our first section, which is all about this existential moment. For generations, we've basically defined ourselves as useful tools in the big machine of society. But that definition, it's expiring. We're being pushed to evolve from being useful tools into something else entirely. This right here frames the massive shift we're talking about. The philosopher Nick Bostrom calls it moving from instrumental value, that's, what we can do, to a value that's based simply on being. Think about it like this. When an AI can do your job better, faster, and cheaper, your worth just can't come from your output anymore. It has to come from something else, something deeper. Our experiences, our consciousness, our relationships. The real question is, how on earth do we make that jump?
For a lot of people, the go-to map for finding purpose has been this Japanese concept of ikigai, and it's a beautiful idea for sure. But what happens when the very world that map was drawn for just disappears? We're starting to realize that this old map, it's failing us.
Yes, I'm sure you've seen this diagram before. It's all over the internet. This is the westernized version of Ikigai, and it's got this nice, neat formula. Your purpose, it says, is right there in the middle, where what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you get paid for all overlap. It's clean, it's comforting, and it's in big trouble.
Yeah, AI is basically taking a sledgehammer to each one of these circles. What you can be paid for? Well, automation is making tons of valuable skills practically worthless. What you're good at? AI is already better than us at coding, writing, making art. The list just keeps growing. What the world needs? Well, AI can handle the functional stuff, leaving us with the messy, human relational needs. And maybe the scariest one, what you love? Even that can be shaped and manipulated by algorithms designed to tell you what your desires should be. The old map is officially torn to shreds.
Okay, so if the old map is useless, where do we even go from here? This section is all about finding the new territory, the places that are uniquely human, where machines, for all their power, just can't follow. These are our last, and honestly, our most important strongholds. Let's start with connection. Sherry Turkle from MIT has this brilliant term, artificial intimacy. An AI can perform empathy perfectly. It can say all the right things, but it doesn't feel anything. It's a safe, predictable, and ultimately empty relationship. Real human connection, though, that's born from shared vulnerability. It comes from knowing that we both get hurt, we both have fears, and we both have an expiration date. That messy, risky, beautiful reality, that's where the real meaning is hiding.
And you know what else is a stronghold? Our own bodies. As intelligence becomes a cheap digital commodity, our physical, messy, analog existence becomes sacred. This is where you find what's called embodied craftsmanship, that incredible satisfaction of working with your hands, of feeling the resistance of the physical world. It's where we experience qualia. That's the actual subjective feeling of smelling coffee or the warmth of the sun. An AI can know the data, but it can never feel it. And this is the whole foundation of the coming care economy, where a simple, real human touch becomes the ultimate luxury.
And this leads us to this really powerful philosophical pivot. And Naval Ravikant just nails it with this quote. If AI gets to a point where it can grant almost any wish, where it can fulfill almost any desire, then the whole game changes. The new ultimate skill isn't about getting what you want anymore. It's about mastering your desires in the first place. Finding peace in just being, instead of constantly chasing the next thing. That is a profound challenge to our whole ambition-driven society.
Okay, so we've broken down the problem, we've explored the new human-only territory. Now let's put it all together. Let's build a new blueprint, a resilient framework for purpose that we're going to call IKIGAI 2.0, a guide for the post-work world we're all stepping into.
This is the key. We're not just throwing out the old map. We are redrawing it for a new world. So what you're good at is no longer about being the absolute best. It's about your unique expression. It doesn't have to be better than an AI. It just has to be authentically yours. What the world needs shifts from functional jobs to relational contribution, the hard, messy, beautiful work of just being there for other people. What you love evolves into what we can call deep play, doing things just for the love of doing them, with no goal in mind. And what you're paid for? Well, that part of the map either disappears entirely or gets radically redefined around this new economy of human meaning.
So this new model, IKIGAI 2.0, it really rests on three core pillars. First, radical relationality. That means doubling down on those deep, messy, irreplaceable human bonds. Second, embodied craftsmanship. Reconnecting with the physical world, getting your hands dirty, feeling things. And third, transcendental play. Rediscovering the pure joy of pursuing something just because you're curious, like a kid or a scientist, completely free from the pressure of having to be useful.
And when you put all of this together, it leads to a completely new kind of identity. We're no longer required to be useful tools or productive cogs in a machine. We are finally free to become something so much more profound, artists of life. Our new purpose isn't to produce, it's to create, to craft our days, our connections, and our experiences into a life that is a unique and meaningful work of art.
So let's end with this thought. AI is going to take over the world of doing, the world of work, of utility, and that might feel like a huge loss. But what if it's actually a promotion? What if it's freeing humanity up for its final and its most important job of all, the creation of meaning itself? Maybe this was our real purpose all along.